Hey folks, so it is Dark Eldar versus Guard, 1850 points. We're trying out one of the missions from the Canhammer Team Tournament, mission number 3. So Guard, we've got a command squad with a Master of Ordnance and a Psyker in it. Underneath them, we've got a regular platoon with a las cannon. Then we have a Stormlord, which has a ton of guns and a ton of guys inside. Inside, there's a command squad, 2 units of las cannons, so there's 3 las cannons each. There's a vet squad with 3 melta-guns, shotguns, and a demo pack. Back here in the cover, we've got a manticore ready to rain down death. We also have another guard squad with some las cannon. In reserve, there's a sentinel with a missile launcher. There's a vendetta, and inside the vendetta is a platoon command squad. There's also a Calidus assassin on the table too, so it's gonna be an interesting game, that's for sure. So for the Dark Eldar, I've got my standard list. I've got my Trueborn with the Drakon, and they've got 4 blasters inside a Venom. We've got Medusa, 2 of them in a Venom, so it's a little bit new. We've got 3 Raiders with 10 guys inside Splinter Cannons, 3 Raiders with 5 guys and blasters. We have 2 Ravagers. We have 10, so 2 squads of 5 Scourges, and my Razor Wing ready to jump onto the field. So the guard pretty much seized the initiative. There was a Psyker inside the Stormlord. They jumped out and they put invisibility on the Stormlord, which kind of sucks. And then they just fired all of their different weapons into all of my different units, and just anywhere that you see a coin, that basically means that unit's been jinking. And then of course the red dice represent how many hull points have been hit so far. If you see any white dice, that actually means that's what's happened to them. So we've got some hull points lost here and there, lost a weapon off of the Raider, lots of jinking, not too much damage, but I'm going to have a lot of ineffective fire back. So for the Dark Eldar, I realized that the Stormlord was invisible. I'm hitting on 6s anyways, so I'll just fire all of my jinked vehicles at it. Why not? And it proved to be very effective. I managed to get 7 hull points off of it. I also rapid fired the assassin to death, and I moved over and tried to capture as many objectives as possible. I should have held back a little bit to capture that one down there, but it happens. Stormlord fired Fiery Vengeance and destroyed the Ravager, which wrecked the Raider. And that's pretty much it. Still a lot more forced jinking. The Sentinel came on that side. The Vendetta came on as well. I lost 2 more Raiders over here, dumping the contents to the ground, trying to maintain some objectives as best I can and spread the guys out as best as I could, because that Manticore fires down some pretty nasty shots, especially when it ignores cover, and it's pretty much insta-death. These guys moved up into the cover here, and my Venom's ready to go and pounce on them in a moment or two. So did take a significant amount of losses. So the Medusa jumped out of their Venom, ran up and flamed and destroyed all of those guard in there, and pretty much secured me the objective up there for now. These guys moved up to try and get a shot at the Stormlord. I just tried to move all of my Scourge on and just fire everything I could into the Stormlord to just destroy it. Sadly, I just didn't have enough shots to kill it because it was invisible again. So this guy, I fired 1 shot at it, really didn't cause any damage at all. So overall, not a very successful turn. I managed to get 1 hull point off the Stormlord. There's still 1 left. Continued fiery deaths rained down from the guard. So we lost a Raider there, spilling out those warriors, moving towards the objective. They were pinned, which was a little sad. The Stormlord just opened up everything and destroyed all of the Scourge, making sure that they were entirely wiped out, which made sense because their Haywire was pretty nasty. The folks jumped out there, fired in on the Venom, not causing any damage, just forcing it to jink. I lost another Raider just to the left there, spilling out the 10 guys. So I'm pretty much down to no vehicles, except for 1 Venom. And it's pretty scary here. So tried to shoot the Sentinel, didn't cause any damage. Moved these guys into the building. I moved those guys from the Raider up, but they were killed off by the Stormlord. Those guys from the Raider moved up. Venom jumped in here, and the Medusa ran into cover. Still, Jet came on, fired everything I could into the Stormlord. Didn't cause 1 bit of damage, so that was a little sad. But the Medusa are pretty happy hanging out in there, trying to hold that objective as best they could. So right now it's looking pretty grim for the Dark Eldar. So we'll see how it goes. So this turn here, the Medusa were okay. Vendetta moved up, and between the Vendetta and the Stormlord, they managed to kill off all of the warriors here. They actually, Stormlord also shot at the jet and managed to hit it and force it to crash. These guys weren't touched. The Sentinel moved up, fired a missile, and managed to kill the blaster, and then assaulted the guys, but didn't hurt anyone in close combat. So that's going to be an interesting combat for the rest of the game, that's for sure. And then these guys just kind of head. So pretty much lost all of my vehicles, so I'm pretty much down to just focusing on the objectives, trying to hold them as best I can. It is an objective-based game, so it could be some way I could diminish the amount of points my opponent could take. So that's what I'm focusing on right now, just hopefully holding as best I could. So the only really significant part of this entire turn was the Sentinel not causing any damage to the warriors. Lots of fire, so I did lose a unit on the far left objective, lost almost everybody in the building to a huge amount of fire. Over here, the Medusa were shot up and I lost one, and pretty much held as best I could. In the assault with the Sentinel, nothing happened. Still holding a few more objectives, but I did lose everybody there, sadly, so the Vendetta moved up to pretty much hold that one. These guys jumped out and moved up into the ruins. I did manage to kill off the one guy with the demo pack, so that was really, really good. This assault continued on with nothing happening. These guys were the ones that fired and shot the fellow with the demo pack. But I think it's getting close to finishing up. Oh, if I could only roll dice to stop the game. So Vendetta moved up, took over that objective, killed everybody off there. Stormlord moved up, holding that objective, and the Medusa was killed off with the Manticore holding this objective here. The only really significant thing going on in the rest of the game was pretty much two assaults, the Sentinel not being able to hurt any warriors, and these warriors getting assaulted and pretty much getting wiped out by the Guard. The Guard consolidated onto the objective, holding it, where the Sentinel was fighting, and did manage to kill off one more guy, and actually two more guys, and forced a retreat for this last little fellow here, and he pretty much just ran off the table. And that concluded the game with me having nothing left on the table. Overall, it was a great game. It was a lot of fun trying out this mission and just getting prepared for the future tournament. So I hope you guys enjoyed the battle, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye now.